Kids. All right, so what we're gonna do is we are gonna go through Aceblade number 1 and number 2, and I'm gonna explain to you, the process that we went through to making these comics, and we're gonna decide if Aceblade is gonna be a hero or a villain or something in between in the future. So with this Kickstarter, this is the third book, so we wanted to kind of revamp everything that was going on and take everything that we learned from the first 2 books and apply it to the rest of the story, because the full story is 4 comics. So this third comic, which we already reached the goal for, thankfully to you all, we reached the goal to make the third comic, and we want to go ahead and get the 4th book done too. I'd like to get it done by April, but I thought that it would be best to kind of explain the story before Aceblade 1 and 2. Before Aceblade 3, so that everybody could all be caught up. So that's what we're gonna do. So I got it set up so everybody can see, and so that everybody can ask questions. Type your questions in. If you haven't pledged, go ahead and pledge. We just got our looks like our 51st backer. So thank you to Chris Oho for backing. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much. We can't do this without you guys, so I appreciate it. So here we go. So Aceblade number 1. Christoph Hollers, if anybody knows the story, Christoph Hollers is the original creator of Aceblade, and he did this image, and I wanted it to be the first image that people thought of when they saw Aceblade. This is his original artwork of Aceblade. I'm the main writer. I'm the co-creator of Aceblade. We had our penciler for the first and second book is Von Remote. Our main inker is Michael Keller. And then Richard Cardoso is our colorist. He's colored every comic book that I've done so far. Both of these Aceblades, the third Aceblade and the King Supreme comic. So here you see this image was done by Jimbo Saldago. Some of you guys may know him. He does work for Transformers and everybody. He's an amazing artist. He was my first pick for doing this book. This was inked by Tony Cordos, and this was made way back in 2012, as you can see right here. Long time ago. So that was really when the Aceblade journey started. I'm new to this comic thing, and I really believe that we've developed as a team since 2012. So I hope you enjoy what we're doing. You see here, writers Danny J. Quick, Christoph Hollers. This is the original story that we talked about way back in 2008, 2009. Penciler Von Remote, like I said, inks Michael Keller, and then Silas Dixon came in and helped us out. He did an amazing job helping us to finish this book. Flats were done by Rich and Anthony Cuizon, and then the colors were done by Richard Cardoso, and I did the lettering also. Now I will say, in this book, the lettering is a little rudimentary. I had to go back several times, and I still want to go back and fix stuff because I was not to professional standard at this time, I'll be honest. So when you see some of this stuff, I was using Anime Ace, and it's not as great as I wanted it to be, but I was just learning at this time. And for my skill level, I think I did all right, but you'll see in the second book that my lettering skills have vastly improved since this point. So yeah, just bear with me, y'all. But here we go. So this is the story of Aceblade. We wanted to start off with a double page spread. You can see the colors are a little off here. That's something else that we've gotten better at. You'll actually later on in the book you'll be able to see there's a double page spread that we did that is a lot crisper and you'll be able to see that. So this is how the story starts. So this is the story of Aceblade, the Vegas vigilante. So that kind of gives you a clue right there where Aceblade lands on the hero villain thing. It's kind of right there in the opening. So he fights against Vegas City's overwhelming greed and hatred. As a man, he could have been an example to the people of his city. And then you're supposed to go over here. As Aceblade, he would become a beacon of light, piercing through the dark cloud of evils encircling his home. He would do anything, he would give everything to rid Vegas City of that evil. In death, he will begin to live. So what we wanted to do right here at the beginning of the book, we wanted to go ahead and get you hooked. If you've ever taken a writing class, writing 101 is hook the reader as soon as possible, as early as possible. So you open the book. The first imagery you see is two men laying there, bloody, holes all in them, bloody, laying in the desert. And the hope is that you ask yourself at this point, what happened to these two guys? Okay, so that's the hope to get you guys hooked there. Okay, so we move on. Go to, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Okay, get over here. So, man, there we go. It's about to be crisp for you. I know there's a little, my head is up here in the corner, so hopefully it's not obstructing anything. So then we go to earlier that night. Bam. You see, fighting out of the blue trunks. You see, we're in fabulous Vegas City. That's supposed to say Vegas City, Nevada, but you get the picture of that. This is something I learned you have to do as an establishing shot. So you got to tell people where you are, and this is how we chose to do it. I was very fortunate to work with great artists and great, my inker Michael Keller. He really taught me a lot about comics, a lot of stuff that I didn't even, wouldn't even think of at the time. So I really credit the team to any success that Aceblade has now, any success that he has in the future, because I really didn't know any of this stuff. I just knew, that I wanted to tell a good story. I knew that I wanted to write, but I didn't know how different it was to tell a story in comic books. So here we go. So bam. You see we're here at Vegas Stadium in Vegas City. And you see the announcer. Fighting out of the blue gate and the purple trunks, the challenger. Weighing in at 222 pounds, 6 foot 2 inches of brick hard muscle. He's left dozens of fighters in his wake. Hailing all the way from Chinatown. He always has an ace up his sleeve. We had to throw that in there. Terrell, the Dragon Slayer Durham. So this is our main character, Terrell Durham. Like I said in a lot of interviews before, Terrell Durham, this was Christoph's idea. It wasn't my idea to make the main character a black guy. Christoph had the idea. He said there's not a lot of black superheroes, and he created Aceblade, and he wanted him to be in Vegas City. So all of that is attributed to him. Well, he wanted him to be in Las Vegas. I came up with the idea of Vegas City, and so I attributed all of that to Christoph. He really laid a solid foundation for me to get started, and I'm just rolling with it. So bam, and you see how bad my lettering skills were here. You see how close this stuff is here. See how close this is. All of these the words are really close in there. So that's something that gets better as we go on. So